you probably hear, I'm coming with a little accent. So Webdoc is a Swiss company based out in Lausanne, close to Geneva. And we launched the platform back in December. Just a quick question, like, do you guys know anything about Webdoc? Anyone? Thank you. Cool. So Webdoc is a social platform, and the idea is like, for us, like, we think that anyone today should be able to express themselves by using web content. So we all have content on Soundcloud, on Flickr, on Instagram, etc. And all this content is stored, but it's really hard to express yourself with this content. So as you can see here, this is webdoc.com, and you can see that people are talking about many things. So it could be about music, announcing a gig, but it could be also for any sort of passion or fashion, etc. So Webdoc is like the most expressive way to share your passion online by creating rich media posts. And what we mean by rich media post is to mix media. So in one post, you're gonna use different things. Think about if you tweet a picture or a video, that's cool, but sometimes it's not enough. You want to add something to that. So we are really in between, like a social, status update and blogging. And the idea is like to be super spontaneous and to do this like as fast as you tweet if possible. So look at this like e-flyer from a band. This is something you can do like in 2-3 minutes without having like any skills of HTML or graphic design. Everything will be as simple as a drag and drop. So think about like, I don't know if you guys saw Minority Reports, that was like a big inspiration for us. You just take your picture, you take a video or whatever, and you drag and drop this in a free-form canvas. So I'll show you guys like a quick video. This is like, let's say I want to do an e-flyer for a gig. I don't know if you guys know like Charles Bradley, but we're going to do a little flyer for his next gig. So here I'm on webdoc.com. I'll just like type the name of the artist. You have results from like Google or Flickr. You just drag and drop your picture, and then you start to customize your post. So we're going to add some text, and then we're going to add some like interactivity. We have like an app section where you have like, for instance, a countdown, and then I want to add some sound. We have integration with Soundcloud, and a little widget to say, okay, I'm coming or not. You could also like add simply like a link to buy tickets. Once you do that, obviously you want to reach your audience wherever they are. So Facebook in this case, but the vision we have behind Webdoc is like, a Webdoc should be like where your audience is. So think about a YouTube video that you can embed in your blog or in your website, or that you can add on Facebook. A Webdoc is the same thing. You can just like embed this wherever you want. So here we have like a few examples with like a tab on Facebook or an embed on your blog. But you could also like simply tweet a Webdoc and get this like working on your mobile. So it works like on any portable devices. Then I just want to talk a little bit about the integrations we have. Like we have this app section, and one of the things we really wanted to do is like to take the best of the APIs available to get you guys like able to express yourself like in a very easy way. So we integrated with tons of services. One is like, I'll talk a little bit about SoundCloud, and SoundCloud is like this platform where you can like obviously share music, but you can also share like just sounds. And sometimes you want to add something to sound. So we integrated SoundCloud, and we started to work together with their team on like, what could we add to this simple file? And we created like a few widgets allowing you to engage with your audience. And like, you could think about like voting, you could think about like rating music, or you could just ask your audience like, hey, do you prefer that track or this track? And we have widgets like this or that allow you to get your audience vote very simply and to get some really cool analytics. Then we did also like an integration with the guys from Soundkick, and the idea beside this was like, okay, they have this huge database of gigs. How can I like get this like more exciting for an audience to get to discover the fact that there is a new gig? So you simply search for the name of the artist, and you have the list of the tour, and then you can simply drag and drop like links to buy tickets and information about where is the gig or a Google map. Instagram is also really interesting. We have like a range of widgets that allows you to, for instance, create like a slideshow with all the pictures that people in an audience could tweet, and it aggregates this directly into your Webdoc. Topspin is like a direct-to-fan company. Same thing, like you're going to be able to sell directly from Webdoc, and the idea is like really to get this like viral and get people to sell in a different way and to create some emotion around the fact that you're selling something. So why should you use Webdoc? One of the things we are seeing is like people are like, you know, telling a story. For me, like a band is like, we often see like people thinking about like, oh, I need to do like a campaign for my band, and then nothing is happening. And we really think that the band is always in a campaign, and you can like actually tell a story by, you know, using all the media that you have. Like a band is like having an amazing database of content that is stored. If you start to mash up this and to mix the media, then you can get something really exciting. The other thing is like, we want to give the mic to the fans. The fans have a lot to say, and if you give them an opportunity to express themselves with something different, you're going to be amazed about what they can do. So yeah, the idea is like to create a movement and to get like the fans bringing a message and to customize the way they see a band. Often it's very formatted. If you start to let them do something different, think about your room in the past. We all had posters. We all had like our own vision of a band, and it's really hard in the current web to do something that really reflects the way you see a band. So I'm going to talk about, I'll give you like a little story about a band using Webdoc to engage with the fans, and really the idea is like to demonstrate like how you can express yourself in a different way. So I don't know if anyone knows the Deer Tracks. It's a band from Sweden, really cool, and we actually worked with them and aggregated the best usage we have seen on Webdoc until now with around music. So the Deer Tracks are, let's say they're like currently in the studio working on a new album. They just started to record yesterday, and they're in studio, and they just share like a little picture with a little text saying like, hey guys, we are in studio, and just shared some like music they were like recording in the studio. A few days after, they recorded 2 versions of a track. They were not really sure which one was the best, so they just share like this or that and asked like, do you prefer like the acoustic version or the original one? Tell us like which one is the best. And the fans came back and started to vote, giving you some interesting information. Now I finished like to record this EP, and I wanted to share this with journalists and people around the band. So this is a simple post with a play button where you can listen to this EP, a link to buy on iTunes, and a little video on YouTube where they explain what's going on with this EP and the experience they had in studio. A few weeks after, it's time to go on tour, so they started to share e-flyers that they were tweeting and posting on Facebook, and you just had like this countdown to get this notion like it's happening soon. You really you feel like, oh, I need to buy the tickets now. And they had again like the sounds to listen and information about like where is the gig happening. The band had the opportunity to choose a band to play before them. So they just shared this with the crowd and proposed like a Dropbox from Soundcloud and asked like bands to like propose their music to open the act. So the fans came back like after that the band decided that those 3 bands were like the one they preferred. They asked the fans to decide which band will play and perform before the band. So again, you have your audience engaged and you get some attraction around the gig. The day after the gig, it was really cool, and the band being on stage really like engaged with the fans and asked them to use Instagram and a specific hashtag to aggregate the experience. So the band just like posted a thank you post, and all the pictures taken during this gig are automatically aggregated into this post. So it gives like a really cool experience for fans. The other thing that is really interesting is like the fans spontaneously came back on Webdoc and started to share their own experience on the gig. So it's like literally creating a virtual backstage where like people are sharing their emotions around the gig. Then like the band had like already a few remixes from famous DJs, and they had like a few slots available for the remix EP. So they started like a remix lab. You just like do a YouTube video asking people to remix your track, use like the stems available on SoundCloud and a Dropbox. You start to share this everywhere. Bands started to do covers, remixes, and uploaded this on SoundCloud, and then came back on Webdoc, creating some flyers to promote the remix. So again, like this is like creating like a mosaic of sound, sort of like a wall of sound where people can discover all those tracks. Then like super fans, I think like something really interesting is now like you have the opportunity to know a little bit more about your fans, and some people are really ready to invest and spend more money on the band, but you never know like, shall we really do this? Like, is there like really potential for this? So the band just shared like a post saying like, okay, we have this EP that will be released digitally. Are you guys interested to buy like a vinyl of this EP remix? All this is like generating like a full mosaic with a profile of the band, where you're going to be able like to, discover the band is in another way. Think about like the experience you can get like scrolling all those different media and following the story of a band. This is something really like innovative and different for fans. Like we have also like a one media discovering process. With Webdoc, it's multi-social media. You're like really mixing all those different media, and it gives you like a very different experience. Webdoc is completely free, so I invite you guys to try it and to come up with some feedbacks. Thanks a lot. You can contact me here, and do you guys have any questions?